Square Cow Countdowns. What's up folks, Slash Raptor here. In the first ever official sequel to a current Square Cow Countdowns video, we're doing the top 10 worst Call of Duty multiplayer maps as requested by you. So here we go. I'm going to be more specific with what games we're covering though, which is Modern Warfare 2, 3, Black Ops 1, and 2, because I haven't played any of the other ones enough to know what I'm doing. As always, DLC maps are still good to go. You know how this is. This hasn't changed. And unlike last time, not all of the maps are on here for the same reasons. They still suck, but in different ways. I'll explain this in more detail later on. So with these rules out of the way, let's get started with... Number 10. Downhill. Black Ops 2 Revolution. Although Treyarch has usually had a lot of success making snow maps, it seems like they just ran out of ideas and ended up spewing out Downhill. The words meh and uninspired come to mind when I think of this map. It's not really a terrible map, but it's lacking in so many areas. Whenever I play on Downhill, I can't help but feel like they just butchered Summit until it was no longer recognizable. They even added death traps in the form of ski lifts that travel at 1 mile an hour. How treacherous. Snails can outrun those things. That's a perfect example of uninspired development. I mean, maybe if they had tried just a wee bit harder, the resulting map would have been good enough to avoid being on this list. Number 9. Quarry. Modern Warfare 2. I have a query about Quarry. What? You don't know what query means? It's a fancy way of saying question, okay? Anyways, what I wanted to know is, why? Why does this map exist? It serves no purpose at all, like Minecraft. Actually, now that I mention it, it kind of looks like a Minecraft level. This map really is useless though. There's not really any game mode that works well on it, and it's, you guessed it, sniper and noob-tuber oriented. Grenade launchers always seem to dominate the playing field, and any choppers in the sky can easily slaughter you before you can even react. If all that wasn't enough, the fact that this map is just downright ugly should set in stone that Quarry is really not worth playing. Ever. Like Minecraft. Number 8. Zoo. Black Ops Escalation. I really wish I could like this map more than I do. Treyarch kind of, sort of, not really had the right idea, but somewhere in this map, I could tell that they were going for a cool map. And it didn't work. Luckily, it doesn't really show up very often, but when it does, I'm always tempted to leave the lobby. This map sucks because it's boring in every aspect of the word. There's no color, there's no game modes that really work well for it, and because it's so badly designed, people will camp and snipe rather than try to explore it and engage in close quarters combat. I think that the reason there's no animals in Zoo is because they all got bored and left. And can you blame them? Zoos are colorful, or at least they're supposed to be. I mean, even if the zoo is abandoned, that doesn't mean the colors should be so non-existent. Now, if you don't mind, let's amscray, like the animals did. Number 7. Bakara. How the hell do you say that? How many A's does there need to be in this word? Anyway, Modern Warfare 3. Something about this map always bothered me. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but what the hell, I'll give it a shot. Whenever I play on Bakara, it always feels like I'm playing on a different map. I get this weird feeling of deja vu or something. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it feels like it's a cross-pollination between a whole bunch of other maps, such as Hard Hat, Carbon, Mission, and Interchange. It's so noticeable that I always lose track of where I am, which results in me getting killed multiple times. And no matter how often I play on this map, I never seem to be able to learn my way around it, almost as if it changes every time. This might seem like a weird reason to put Bakara on this list, but don't worry, I divided the list into different sections so that it would work out. For example, the next 3 maps are all unbalanced, whereas the first 4 were just boring, useless, or ugly, and then the top 3 are just downright horrible in every way possible. Number 6. Downturn. Modern Warfare 3. This map is just weird. It makes no sense to me, and apparently not to most other people either. This map never gets voted on, and that's probably for the best, because Domination is really the only game mode that I found works with it. And even then, it's not necessarily fun, it just works. That being said, it's almost as though half of this map just doesn't work, which would explain why it doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe Downturn was never finished properly, but was still included in the game regardless. How else can you explain erratic respawn points, a horribly cramped and confusing layout, as well as unnecessary size? No matter where I go on this map, there's always someone camping out, and if it's not campers, then it's someone that literally respawns right behind you and kills you. The fact that people can respawn right behind you really makes no sense. Aren't there supposed to be assigned respawn locations? Well, not on Downturn to say the least. Do yourselves a favor and keep voting down and turning away from Downturn.
Number 5.
Crisis. Black Ops. Crisis probably got its name from the fact that it is a crisis. It's so poorly designed that it's almost funny. Perhaps it would be funny if the map wasn't so frustratingly camper-friendly. First of all, it's huge. Way bigger than it should be. This provides too many spots to sit down and hide, which most people do, especially in the house that's the epicenter of almost all the action. The underground bunker is way too easy to defend, which makes domination downright unplayable, and as for the crashed boat on the rocks, I don't know why it's there. Maybe to balance out the map's feng shui or something, because other than that, it serves no purpose. Although it does kind of sound like an alcoholic drink, am I right? Can I get a crashed boat on the rocks, please? Anyway, I spent most of my time playing in that pipe on the back of the map, not because I like to camp. God no, I can't camp to save my life. I was back there because I got bored trying to find people. What can I say? Hide and seek is not my forte. And neither is that. I drive a Chrysler Cirrus.
Number 4.
Carrier. Black Ops 2. A map set on an aircraft carrier surrounded by the tumultuous sea, you say? Cool. A unique looking map, you say? Even better. What could go wrong? Actually, a lot. Carrier proves that looks aren't all that matter. Apart from being a complete campfest, Carrier also caters for head glitchers at nearly every turn. The ruined plane in the center of the map is generally bombarded with an almost infinite barrage of grenades from every angle, making it an instant kill zone. The map is too small for free-for-all and domination, yet too big for kill confirmed, which leaves me wondering why it's even in the game at all. The communication tower at one end of the map is yet another fail, and the Harriers at the end of the map provide one team with an overlook of the entire area. It's one of the most unbalanced maps in the series.
Number 3.
Estate. Modern Warfare 2. If you thought Carrier was bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. At least Carrier offers a chance of victory for both teams. Estate, however, is a complete and utter failure. Infinity Ward should be ashamed of themselves for giving this map the green light. It's literally impossible to win on this map if your team starts off on the ground. Before the clock even starts ticking, you'll know who's gonna win. But it gets worse, because one team spawns so close to the mansion, they'll be able to snipe the other team below before they've even reached the mountain. I'm still not done though. The mansion itself is so easy to defend that even if another team manages to reach it, the chances of overthrowing the entire enemy team is slim to none. And because there's so many places in the mansion that make for great tech insert locations, it can hypothetically go on forever. You know, I've been thinking, and all it would have really taken to fix this map and turn it into an instant classic would have been some sort of underground tunnel system. Because without that, it's just downright horrible.
Number 2.
Hazard. Black Ops Annihilation. Why do I hate this map? I don't actually. It hates me. This is one of the only maps I've ever seen that was created specifically to make players who are terrible at sniping go insane. You can get sniped from everywhere. And what's worse is that you will get sniped from everywhere. You can tell that this map is catered to snipers because it's enormous and all of the sniping spots line the edges of the battlefield, almost like a Roman Colosseum. Non-snipers are essentially forced to run around aimlessly on the golf course until a sniper kills them. You'd think that with the other end of this area being more or less open, that it'd be really easy to get around that way. But no, people camp in there. So on one side, you've got horrible campers, and on the other end, you've got snipers. I will give this map some bonus points though. It looks really nice, and it is actually a very well-designed remake of the original Cliffside map from a previous game. But because of how much godforsaken bullshit that happens on this map, I have no choice but to put it at number 2 as the worst map in Call of Duty history. It's a shame too, because Hazard is actually really cool. Now we're going to do the recap, but I'm adding a new feature called 10 words. After I say the name of each entry, I'm going to give you 10 words that summarizes why that item is on the list. Okay, so here we go. Number 10, Downhill. Butchered version of Summit. Not terrible, but could have been better. Number 9, Quarry. Completely useless desert map that's even uglier than Joan Rivers. Number 8, Zoo. Extremely depressing and boring map. Where's all the damn colors? Number 7, Bakara. Looks like a dozen other maps that were blended together. Number 6, Downturn. A completely nonsensical map that was probably never even finished. Number 5, Crisis. Too many unused areas make it hard to find people. Number 4, Carrier. Nothing about this map works very well. A complete fail. Number 3, Estate. Easily the most unfair map in Call of Duty history. And number 2, Hazard. A golf course map that traps non-snipers on the ground. Which brings us to...
Number 1.
Outpost. Modern Warfare 3. Summit is what all snow maps strive to be one day. And Outpost is what all snow maps fear they're gonna end up like someday. Actually, Outpost is so horrible that all maps fear they'll be like it. So since there's absolutely no positive aspects for this map at all, I'm just going to drone on and on about why this map deserves to be at number 1. It's boring, it's way too big, the respawn points are horrible, everything looks the same, there's too many sniping spots, too many unused areas, the snow makes it hard to see enemies at longer distances, and... lastly, because of all that crap, campers are abundant in all the other buildings that you'd think are safe and isolated from the action. And as you might expect, there's not a single game mode that works even remotely well on Outpost. I also have a special bonus reason for putting this at number 1. I remember one time I was playing MW3, and Outpost was the only map that was being voted on, and everybody on my team was playing Justin Bieber. Wait, never mind. That was actually a nightmare. Thank God. Anyways, this map is still just god-awful. Well, anyway, folks, that's all the time I have for this episode of Square Cow Countdowns. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you guys next time, where I'm hopefully going to manage to give you the most time-consuming episode I've ever created. So until then, peace out. And yeah, bye-bye.